I swear, there's so many mosquitoes up here. I'm gonna swat the whole time. I'm gonna be doing this as I'm talking. Sorry, guys. Hey there, it's Tara here from 40BelowFruity, and we are embarking on an epic 4-day kayaking adventure and expedition this weekend, and it's up on North Vancouver Island. So we're going to, actually the last time we went on this trip a few years back, we saw orcas, humpbacks, Dall's porpoises, and Pacific white-sided dolphins, so I am so excited. So we just arrived at the campsite, and there's a few different things you have to do for a kayak trip as opposed to a hiking trip or a regular camping trip. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this video. So I've got all my food I brought with me, and one thing that I love about kayak trips is that weight is not an issue. You can put as much weight as you need to in the kayak, whereas if you go on a long hiking trip, you're gonna have to really be conscious of how much weight you're carrying. So I find that with a trip, with a kayak trip specifically, I can bring a lot more variety of food because, for example, I wouldn't likely bring some of these foods like watermelon on a hiking trip. I would never do that. Wouldn't be calorically dense enough to justify carrying that much weight with me. So to start with tonight, I'm gonna be juicing just over 12 pounds of oranges. They're gonna make probably about 2.5 to 3 liters of fresh squeezed orange juice. That's really good to take in the kayak because you don't have to worry about the orange skin weight, and you can just drink it as you're going if you're gonna be kayaking all day. And the second thing I've got with me is my favorite, which are these amazing Altolfo mangoes. They're actually on sale at Superstore right now, so if you live in Canada, go and get them. I believe it's $8 for a case of 10. For mangoes, Really? It just flew, Ryan, help me.
You're on your own.
I'm on my own. He's like, you're the one doing this crazy video. Anyways, back to mangoes. If you're gonna bring mangoes, they will get bruised very easily, so put them in a Tupperware container. Or as we like to call them, instead of Tupperware, we call them Tupperware's the fucking lid because you can never find the lid on those things. It just makes it a little easier and it makes them not get bruised as much. Another thing that's kind of difficult to bring on a kayak trip or a camping trip or hiking trip in general are ripe bananas because they are going to get smushed and you just have to accept it. So ours are pretty ripe and I expect them to get a little mashed, but that's actually a good thing because I'm going to be using them for a mashed banana dish. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to eat all this food this weekend. That's going to come in another video. In total, I brought about 2.5 bunches of ripe bananas, and then what we did the night before we planned for this trip, we dried a bunch of bananas. We dehydrated about 50 bananas. So right here, I've got my share, my portion, which is 25 dried bananas. The next food I brought mainly for calories are these amazing Iranian dates, the ones that I got in Denmark and in the Faroe Islands. I actually found them at Superstore. Woohoo for that, because they are so good and I love them. So I'm bringing these, and I'm also bringing a container of the Parnoush honey dates, kind of for a backup. The next thing I brought is cut up watermelon. The reason I cut it up is because obviously you don't want to have the extra weight and space from the rind. It won't last me long. It'll only last me till about the first day, but I really wanted fresh watermelon first thing in the morning as I'm sitting on a rock looking at the ocean. So I brought a few containers of it. I also brought some dried figs. They're great calorie-wise, and they're just a great snack too. Then I'm bringing something on a kayak trip that I would never bring on a regular camping trip, and that's veggies. I usually don't bother with the weight of veggies carrying them with me because it's just not worth it. They don't provide enough calories and enough satisfaction to really sustain me throughout a camping trip. But this time I thought, because we're in a kayak and we can handle the extra weight, I brought some cauliflower, some lettuce, zucchinis, avocado, and then I've also got a couple of packs of green onions here. And then I brought a whole container of the most delicious organic local cherry tomatoes. That's basically all of the food I'm bringing. It's going to be enough calories to sustain me throughout the entire time. A couple other essential non-food related items that I brought are my 2 favorite knives, kind of a veggie cutting knife and then a steak knife, because these are really great for cutting mangoes and also for cutting cherry tomatoes and veggies up in a salad. I brought a little cutting board. This is really handy for traveling. It's really light, really compact, and you can just slide it in your backpack or your kayak.
What about your most important piece of cargo?
Ryan. And don't forget Ryan. He's my most important piece of cargo, and he's coming on this trip. Get over here. You want to be in the video. You want me to mention you. You've got to be here. So.
Hello.
What are you eating right now? What kind of food did you bring on this trip? I know. There you go.
Got my whistle.
He wore this whistle the whole way up. I was wondering what he was going to whistle for when we were driving, but
well, I've got.
He likes it. You like it.
I got 3 packs of hummus.
3 packs of
Packing that chickpea. Got these really good crackers. They're gluten-free. I did do some roasted potatoes with garlic and onion.
But lot of dried things too, eh?
I brought a lot of, like, I got the bananas, the same bananas here. I've got fresh bananas.
You got some oranges?
Oranges. I've got some local peaches.
Dates? Did you bring dates?
I brought lots of dates.
Yeah.
I brought some like dried apricots, some pumpkin seeds.
Granola, right? Too?
Some granola, like hemp granola, chocolate coconut milk. You know, I don't do fully raw, but
you don't have to. You don't have to. No,
to,
you don't have to be fully
She
raw
looks
to be in
great
here.
on raw.
That's all that matters.
You know.
Looks are all that matters, folks. Doesn't matter how you feel. No, I mean, we make it work though, right? And actually, I think it's better that I eat raw and you don't eat raw, because it would be a constant battle for the last banana or the last date, or hey, did you take my oranges? Did you take my mangoes? I'm so territorial with
More
food.
importantly, the fruit fly issue. If we were both raw,
We don't have a fruit fly issue.
we would probably, we'd have to try to see each other through a cloud of fruit flies, and we wouldn't be any good.
Told Ryan he has to be at one with the fruit flies, but he just can't really get that concept, eh? So that's it. That's what we're eating and bringing along for food on this epic kayak trip. It's gonna be epic. I love challenges like this. What are you smiling at?
Yeah, I don't know if I got a mosquito in my eye or if I got
Or you're crying with tears of pure joy.
tears of joy. It's always tears of joy.
You know, a lot of people would say that this kind of trip is too difficult as a raw vegan or as a raw foodist, but I see it as a challenge to try to make it work and to see how you can iron out the details and show you guys that you can really do it anywhere.
It's just, you gotta be prepared.
Yeah, you just gotta plan, and if you plan good enough and you know you stay prepared with all the food you need, you can eat raw pretty much anywhere.
And one more thing, on a couple other kayak expeditions we've done, I didn't bring a cook stove or like a pot or pan or anything like that. The most I did was maybe made a bit of oatmeal or something with some boiled water. And it's just so much more convenient. Like cleaning up pots and pans when you're on a kayak trip is just a real pain.
So it's actually easier to eat raw on a kayak trip, right?
I think it is.
Yeah.
And you
Less
just
pain in the ass.
grab something and you actually have more time to do leisurely things rather than scraping
You don't have to do
grease
dishes, you don't have to worry about cooking. It's great. It really works. Good stuff. You have no idea how bad it is out here right now.
It wouldn't be
just want to film a video.
It wouldn't be appropriate for me to slap her right now, even if there's a mosquito on her face.
All right, guys. So we hope that you liked that video and found it helpful. And share it, like it, subscribe, do all that fancy stuff, and we will see you guys in the next video. Cheerio.
Bye-bye. See ya.